recent years, I would say there's been a major spike in former pros becoming managers. We've got the likes of Company, Arteta, Lampard, Rooney, Gerrard. I can list out Xavi. So many have Xabi Alonso. Now some have been better than others, and some have been very, very bad. But from every club, there is always bound to be, I would say now, at least one player who will become a manager in the future. Just how good they will be, I don't know. And again, in this video, I don't know how good these managers are going to be. I just think that these players are likely to become managers. Just my opinion, a little bit of fun today. It'll be interesting maybe in 3-4 years time we can look back on this video and see if any of them actually did become managers, and maybe I was onto something. But yeah, let's begin. Starting with Arsenal. So Arsenal actually already have a player doing their coaching badges in Mohamed El Neni, but I've not gone for him. So midfielders are usually the most likely player to be managers, and that's why the captain, Martin Odegaard, makes sense. He is Arteta's brain on the pitch. He conducts play as if he is watching from above, and he can rouse his team when needed to. Having been hyped up as a world-class talent since making his debut at 13, before learning about the pressure of Real Madrid and underpinning Arsenal's rebuild, Odegaard has the range of experiences to go with his footballing, intelligence and leadership, which is the perfect blend you need to be a manager. Aston Villa. Tyrone Mings strikes me as a professional that is here to stay. He's already worked as a shop assistant, barman and mortgage advisor, as well as owning an interior design business. So perhaps he'll actually end up working on Dragon's Den or something. No, but in all seriousness, the safer bet would be sticking in football and using his experiences to create a winning team. He's already helping shape the next generation of footballers for his own academy. Plus, he speaks well, has played at a high level, and is comfortable cruising through football without making close-knit friends. His father Ade was also a manager, so could teach him a thing or two. Bournemouth. Now, managers at all levels are happy to appeal any decision with vigour. If you close your eyes, you can almost see the great teeth of countless managers and complaining. Even if there is blatant evidence to show that your player's in the wrong, the look of sheer aghast on a manager's face is hilarious. And that's one of the main reasons Adam Smith would make a great manager. His insistence on trying to get the officials to second guess everything would make the most seasoned head coaches proud. At 31, leadership is something that comes easily to Smith, and his role model status among the Bournemouth squad should allow for a smooth transition into coaching. Smith can draw on 13 years of professional football experience from League 2 to the Premier League, and is one of Bournemouth's captains. Given his positive influence on younger players and appeals to refs, you wouldn't suspect much would change in Smith's outlook if he embarked on a managerial career. Brentford. Ben Mee's assurance performance on Sky Sports Monday Night Football show and his World Cup column for The Athletic suggests he could have a successful career in the media when he retires, but he surely belongs in the dugout. The 33-year-old defender already has some experiences in the dugout, helping Mike Jackson manage Burnley towards the end of last season when Sean Dyche was sacked. Ben Mee was Burnley's captain for 3 years and quickly became a well-respected figure in Brentford's dressing room after joining last summer. The centre-back was never blessed with pace and relies on reading the game, which would be very useful as a coach. He has spoken intelligently on topics outside of football, including racism and climate change, which is further evidence of his natural leadership, players and learn himself as a coach. Lallana is almost guaranteed to become a manager, and I think it will be a decent one too. Burnley. Burnley have one of the youngest teams in the Prem, so this is very hard to pick, and me picking is TJ Egan Riley at the age of just 20 is a very bold prediction, but given he was managed by Pep, maybe Riley could have a career in management too. He spent 11 years in the Man City Academy, and we all know Pep's influence on players, so when you grow up playing Man City style and Pep system, you're bound to have a good footballing brain. Maybe you can do a similar sort of thing to Vincent Kompany. It's a very rogue and bold one, but maybe Egan Riley could be on to be a great manager. Chelsea. When you think of Chelsea right now, part of the problem has been a lack of leaders and personalities who have what it takes to be a head coach. But one of the only players in that team with any sort of experience and leadership qualities is Thiago Silva. The legendary defender discussed becoming a coach in English football way back in 2021 and has begun his coaching badges. The only thing that seems to be stopping Silva from taking a management job is the fact he's still playing regular football at the top level, incredibly at the age of 39, which in itself is a testament to the fact he would probably make a pretty incredible tactician. Indeed, Silva's legs abandoned him years ago, but mentally he's still one of the sharpest players on the pitch, and the world-class ability to position and anticipate has allowed him to remain a key part of Chelsea's team. No stranger to the captain's armband, a Champions League winner and a former student of some truly elite managers in Felipe Scolari, Carlo Ancelotti, Massimiliano Allegri, Thomas Tuchel, Silva has footballing brain, leadership, experience and track record of success to thrive in the dugouts. Crystal Palace. Managers often have to possess an aura about themselves. A manager with an aura often does well, and a player at Palace who I think possesses that aura is Joachim Andersen. Andersen plays like a real leader. He has such a big presence on the pitch and is now one of the captains at Palace. Andersen is a really intelligent centre-back who reads the game well and is such a good ball-playing defender. His ability as a footballer shows his great footballing brain, and as I said, he has that aura about him that will make a great, imposing manager. Everton. Seamus Coleman has a quiet air of authority on the other hand, a keen mind and a burning ambition to carry on in the game as a coach when he calls time. The Everton captain gained his UEFA B coaching licence in 2022 and a UEFA A licence, enabling him to manage professionally is next. His teammates talk of him as leading by example with high professional standards and conduct around the club, and he's also unafraid to dish out some hard truths when required. After learning from a wide range of top managers from David Moyes to Carlo Ancelotti, it would be no surprise to see him in the dugout, shouting the orders, soon. Fulham. Tim Ream seems the obvious choice, but he's not someone you would traditionally associate with a managerial role. He has a very composed presence, not just in the heart of Fulham's defence, but in the dressing room too. Despite his nonchalant attitude, Ream still carries an infectious poise, which is why he's a real fan's favourite at Fulham. He is not the most vocal Fulham player on the pitch, but the 35-year-old articulates himself very well and should have no issues with man management. Dependable, unflappable and charming, what more could you want in a manager? Liverpool. Physical stature is by no means a prerequisite to being a top-level manager, but having an imposing demeanour certainly goes a long way in keeping the dressing room under control. When combining Virgil van Dijk's indisputable track record for winning silverware with the simple fact that anybody who measures in at a 6'4" or less would find themselves naturally overshadowed by the Dutchman, even the most egotistical superstar would think twice before deviating from his instructions. A calmness that juxtaposes his intimidating physique, a loving for silky build-up play and experience away from absolute top-end beautiful game with spells at Celtic and Groningen, giving him a more realistic view of players with limited ability, all strengthen the notion that the Liverpool defender will become an elite coach. Due to turn 33, we might not be too far off that becoming a reality. Luton. Players can either become coaches or pundits, and Andros Townsend has already dipped his toe into punditry, so maybe this is a poor shout, but he clearly showed during his few cameos that he has a great tactical knowledge. Townsend has so much experience across the lower leagues and the top leagues, playing for the likes of MK Dons, Ipswich, Crystal Palace, Yeovil, Millwall, Leeds, Everton, QPR and Spurs. Not many players have had as much experience across English football as him. The fact he is still at 32, playing in the Prem, when many would have retired in the summer when he was a free agent, shows how hungry he is and how much he loves the game. That wealth of experience and the love of the game should set him up for some job in football when he's done, whether that's a pundit or a coach, we'll see. Manchester City. Let's face it, Pep Guardiola likes making mini Pep Guardiolas and has already produced one in Mikel Arteta. Just like Guardiola, Arteta was a deep-lying Spanish midfielder of technical quality, and just like Guardiola, Arteta has built his management style around attacking football, innovative tactics and suffering absolutely no flaws when it comes to discipline. By that logic, the next Guardiola replica on the conveyor belt is Man City's midfield linchpin, Rodri. Like Guardiola, he's a deep-lying Spanish midfielder of technical quality, and while Arteta played as Guardiola's midfield understudy at Barcelona, Rodri now plays under Pep at City. Considering the overlap between the Barcelona and City philosophies, and the fact they operate in the same area of the pitch, you have to wonder whether Rodri will be left with the same view of the game as Pep when his playing years wind down. A knack for scoring crucial goals, most notably a winner in the Champions League final, also suggests a determination to succeed that's crucial in a results-driven world of football management. Manchester United. Similar to Chelsea, United lack real leaders, but one man who at least has the experience and passion for management is Casemiro. The Brazilian already has a head start on the evaluation part of the job, watching reports using the scouting and analysis platform WeScout after his own games. He also has a feel for statistics, examining his performance and looking where he can further improve. A Casemiro-led team could import lessons from Carlo Ancelotti, Zinedine Zidane and Tite. There'd be plenty of knowledge about what it takes to win in high-pressure environments and how to navigate tricky Champions League knockout games. There'd be a master of the dark arts and very much able to avoid yellow cards. Got a struggling mid-table side that needs to learn the values of grit and grind, want to be sneakily good at long-range shots. Can you get some loan deals from the imaginary clubs managed by Toni Kroos and Luka Modric? Call Casemiro, he'll fix it. Newcastle United. Kieran Trippier has experienced it all. Lower league football, challenging for the Prem, winning La Liga, star turns in the World Cup and Champions League. When joining Newcastle, he was excited to have his name writ into a project. That's the type of motivation that managers need, especially those who are former players. Tactical acumen. Look at how quickly he picked up Diego Simeone's complex system and the speed which Newcastle's defence has improved with him at the heart of it. Culture and leadership. This is a man who went to every away game last season, even while out for 3 months, not typical Premier League practice, and who has taken over the captaincy with Jamal Lascelles no longer in the starting exile, and who also takes some mean set-piece training as well. Nottingham Forest. He was in my office this morning again, said Steve Cooper. Steve Cooper is not the first man to experience the enthusiasm of Ryan Yates. as much his ability, proving doubters wrong along the way, not least ensuring that he can cut it in the Premier League. Yates' drive and determination would prove solid foundations for a manager. Tottenham Hotspur. Pierre is very intelligent. He reads the game very well. He's going to be a coach one day. He's a pain, asking questions about why we do this and why we do that. That was the then Tottenham Hotspur manager Jose Mourinho speaking about Pierre-Emile Højbjerg in 2020, articulating what many of the club felt and feel. Højbjerg is a manager in waiting. He has always positioned himself closely to his head coach, asking lots of questions, coming up with ideas, and he's even perfected the art of giving terse post-match answers when interviewed. Given his approach to the game, Højbjerg would probably demand full commitment from his players, while at the same time harassing officials from the sidelines. Sheffield United. There's actually quite a few players in the Sheffield United squad I could see become managers, which is quite ironic considering they need a good manager right now to keep them up. John Egan, Chris Basham, John Fleck all could do well as coaches, but I think the captain Ollie Norwood would be the ideal man. Norwood has had a seasoned career, playing in the lower leagues of English football for most of his career. Norwood has experience in the lower leagues in abundance, but also now experience in the top flight, which bodes very well for him. He's made 57 appearances on the international stage as well, starting in the Man United Youth Academy under Sir Alex. Norwood is a top pro who leads by example on the pitch and seems like he would be a class manager purely based on his experience alone. West Ham. Angelo Ogbonna and Vlad Kuval are the standout candidates. Both are experienced and leaders, but Ogbonna's pedigree gives him the edge for a potential career in management. The former Italy international has played under Giancarlo Campolozzi, Antonio Conte, David Moyes and Manuel Pellegrini. Campolozzi often a tough love approach with the defender Torino, but Ogbonna was determined to impress him so much that he would stay behind after training to quiz his manager over tactics. At Juventus, Angelo Alessio, Conte's assistant coach, took a liking to the defender and challenged him to discover his inner Giorgio Chiellini. Ogbonna never shies away from a challenge. He has all the key attributes to become a manager. And finally, Wolves. Most good managers who are ex-pros make it due to their footballing experience. Take Xabi Alonso. He was coached under Rafa Benitez, Pep Guardiola, Jose Mourinho, Carlo Ancelotti, and it's no surprise he's now one of the best up-and-coming managers in the world. And Matt Doherty, while he hasn't had as great teaching as that, he definitely ticks that box. Doherty has been managed by Antonio Conte, Jose Mourinho, and Diego Simeone, and based on that, he's probably going to be some part-the-bus counter-attack manager if he does become one, as that's pretty much what he's been taught his whole career. But still,